Hi guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. I'm Nika and I make book related videos, and today I'm gonna start this particular vlog and basically try and improve my reading habits. So recently my reading has really taken a backseat. I haven't had as much concentration as before. I haven't been able to read as much as I did before, and it's very sad actually. I love reading, but somehow I seem to have lost touch with that. I feel like I've been kind of going through a reading slump recently. I have just been reading very quick romances, more so novellas and all of that, and I've only been reading books of substance. I mean, that is how I'm going to differentiate between the two. There are light, mindless, fun books which are great in its own place, and at the same time completely different from, let's say, literary fiction books that are a bit dense and heavy. So recently I've only had the mental capacity, mental bandwidth to read only the mindless fun books, and I really want to change that. I want to get back to reading literary fiction because I used to love that at one point of time, but recently it's sadly it's not something that I've been able to do recently. So today is Monday, and what's the date? Today is Monday, the 4th of September, and I am hoping that this is a week I am going to try and improve my reading habits. So what I'm going to do is pick up short, small books first, and then go from there and see how it goes. So today I've actually picked up this book, The Testament of Mary, by this author whose name unfortunately I don't know how to pronounce, so I'll leave it here for now, but I'll share the synopsis with you. I remember everything. Memory fills my body as much as blood and bones. This is Mary, a mother whose son was taken from her and lost to the world, a woman who lives now in exile, watched by those who seek to preserve the sanctity of her son's memory. But Mary's recollections of his difficult life and tragic death are a truth that few who knew her son now recognize. As the myths grow around her like walls, so Mary clings to the truth, revealing, in a time of turmoil and profound changes, her own fragile humanity. So basically, from what I got from this synopsis was that it's basically about the story of Mother Mary as we know her. And I'm saying Mother Mary because I grew up in a Roman Catholic convent. So anyway, that's the book. I've actually already started reading it. I am 39/40 pages in, and it is a total of 104 pages. So I am enjoying it so far. It's very slow, very lyrical, and very poetic prose, but it's very kind of a bit obscure as well. Nothing is directly written. It's a lot left to the interpretation of the reader, and that is something I'm really liking, especially because I kind of know the background, the context of the events that have been referred to here, resurrection and all the miracles that Jesus Christ did and all of that. So I think having a more or less a little bit of knowledge of that background has helped me figure out what has been referred to here in the different points and everything. So that's that. But this is the book that I'm reading, and I hope that this week really helps me with repairing my damaged reader mind. I really want to get back to reading, and that's why starting with short books, because I feel like firstly I'll read the short books quicker, and that might give me a dopamine burst. It's like, I read this book, I can read another book, so it'll help me pick up more books. And to a certain extent, my personally, I'm talking about myself here, my mind works in such a way that if I'm presented with numbers, with statistics and all of that, it will really help me to be more dedicated towards this. If I see, I finished so many pages, this many books, it will motivate me to pick up another book, read another page, another chapter, and that is how basically I'll reprogram my reader mind. So that's it for now. I will give you an update very soon, maybe at the end of the day. So far, like I said, I had read 39 and a bit of page 40, so I'll continue reading that since it's a very quick, more or less it's a quick read. It's not very difficult and it's very beautiful. So yeah, I am gonna continue reading that, and I will give you an update once I finish this book. So yeah. Hi guys, so I have been to the gym and I had my dinner, and that's why I look like this, but I am here to give you an update about the first day of this getting back my reading groove thing. So the first thing is I actually made sort of a spread to inspire me to read more. Okay, this is just, don't look at it, but this is what I made, as you can see, for me to keep a track of everything, like the page count, if I pick up a book, finish a book, if I pick up a book and continue it to the other day, books I read overall, whether I finish them or not, that's not relevant, but all of that basically to keep track of things. In terms of reading, I finished this book, The Testament of Mary by this author, this Irish author, and it was an overall interesting book. I think I still need some time to share my thoughts about it, but I rated it 3 out of 5 stars. It's beautifully written, but sometimes because of the writing style there is a lack of punctuation, and so at some points the sentences get kind of confusing. Here are a few comments I wrote: lyrical, self-assured, and at the same time steeped in self-discovery, on the human fear of loss of time and its fast movement as well, guilt, fear for self and everything. So yeah, this was it. Overall it was, like I said, interesting. It was interesting to see Mary's story humanized. Again, this is more or less fiction because you're writing the story from the point of view of Mary, but what do we really know? So yeah, it was difficult to read at points because of, like I said, punctuation issues, but apart from that, seeing a mother's evolution of thoughts, feelings about a son whose position is basically on 2 different ends of the spectrum within the whole tumultuous time that this is set in. So yeah, this was it. I've recently also actually made a resolution not to be on social media or scroll on my phone in general, like no screen time after 11, and it is already 11:15 at night. It'll be 12 soon. So what I'm going to do is, since I can't be on my phone, I'll instead spend time reading. And this time I'm going to pick up On a Sunbeam by Tilly Walden. Now this is a graphic novel that was gifted to me by my dear friend Shivani on my birthday, and I haven't yet read it, but I think I will read, since it's quite huge, as you can see, I will read it a bit every day just before I go to sleep, because it's colorful and there is art, so it will give me the stimuli I need always. I mean, it will be a good replacement for social media. So I'm going to start with this and read a few pages, maybe 1 chapter every night, and see how it goes from there. I'm really excited to read it. My friend actually already has read it and she really loves it. Here's a brief synopsis. A restoration crew travels to the deepest reaches of space, rebuilding beautiful broken structures to piece the past together. 2 girls meet in boarding school and fall deeply in love, only to learn the pain of loss. With 2 interwoven timelines and stunning art, award-winning graphic novelist Tilly Walden creates an inventive world, breathtaking romance, and an epic quest for love. It's quite beautiful as well, as you can see. That was an orangey panel. Here is a panel where everything of the colors are mixed. I'm not sure if I was able to show it correctly. Here's a kind of mauve pink salmon-y spread with all the panels. Here's another pretty one. So quite interesting. I actually did a course on graphic novels back when I was in my bachelor's. It's quite interesting because, and before that I wasn't really a fan of books that had pictures, but that course changed it all for me. I started getting more into graphic novels post that. So yeah, anyway, like I said, I'll continue reading a bit of this, but overall, if we are not to count this, I read a total of 104 pages today. As for the graphic novel, I'll probably inform you tomorrow because I'm just gonna pick this up now and I'll read it until I fall asleep, so I won't record anything anymore. So that's it for now. I'll see you guys tomorrow with a refreshed mind and zeal for reading. And yeah, take care. Hi guys, so today is Tuesday. It's almost 11 p.m. at night, and I'm here to give you another update about how my reading has been going. So actually this brings us to the second trick as to how we can get over a reading slump. I introduced you to a bit of it in the last clip from last night when I said that I would read a graphic novel, but the thing is I actually fell asleep, and because I fell asleep early last night, I woke up quite early this morning, and then I read a bit on in bed, and this is the book that I read. So this is my second trick to beating the whole reading slump. That is just picking up a graphic novel centered around your likes and dislikes, because again, in graphic novels you have different stuff. This is a lot about fantasy, about female friendships, about found family, about sexuality, about lesbian relationships, all of that. So this is that. And then there are of course many different graphic novels about different issues. You might want to read Marjane Satrapi for graphic novels surrounding social issues, the inside versus the outside, women's spaces, all of that. There are other graphic novels such as Saga, which actually reminds me that I have read Saga part 1, volumes 1 to 6, and I'm yet to read 7 onwards. So this graphic novel is actually available on Scribd, so I am looking forward to picking up that one as well. The thing is, I actually had to send my iPad for repair, so it's not really logged in on Scribd at the moment, and I'm not sure if I can log it in time. I just did to make sure that I can show you. But as you can see, there are so many different graphic novels on Scribd, like Reading Quirks, Blackbird, Wash Day Diaries, Paper Girls, again like I said, Saga, all of that. So this is basically my second tip: read graphic novels, because they generally do help you in dealing with reading slumps. Firstly, they're very quick, and secondly, they're visual also, so it gives you a different way of reading. Because generally when my reading slump is happening, it's not like I don't read at all, but I read very slowly, so that I'm reading the same book and it's stretched out to a longer period of time. So basically, I mean, it's like I'm not even reading and completing one book, and it's generally like a normal book, not a graphic novel. So reading a graphic novel, I feel like, gives you a sudden change, sudden variety to your reading. So yeah, I actually read 107 pages. I read this much in the morning, and I'm not sure if I want to continue for now, because Happy Place by Emily Henry is a book that I have been reading for quite some time now, and again, it's half read. This much is read. I actually read 218 minus 211, 7 pages of this book also today. And now, before I go to sleep, I think I want to read this more, If I change my mind, of course I have my graphic novel. And the fact I just saw, this book has also been blurbed by Brian K. Vaughan, who is also the writer of Saga. So anyway, I have these two options for me, but like I said, my second trick is just that, trying to pick up a graphic novel and see how it works for you. Overall, on Monday I read 104 pages. Tuesday, that is today, so far I have read 114 pages. I will read a bit before I go to bed, so the total count of today I'll be able to give only tomorrow. So yeah, that's it for now. Here's to more reading, and I'll give you another update very soon. It was actually a very long, very hectic day. I was working, and then I also went to the gym, so you know, lots of stuff. I cooked today, which was a wonderful kind of solo date that I really enjoyed, because I've been recently loving the whole cooking process. So yeah, that. But anyway, I'll get back to reading and I'll give you another update tomorrow. It's time for another reading update. So today is Wednesday, and I want to begin by giving you an update of the amount of reading I did yesterday, that is Tuesday. So like I mentioned before, I read 104 pages on Monday, and on Tuesday I ended up reading 281 pages. So the 281 pages include the graphic novel that I read, On a Sunbeam, and it also includes the last few pages of Happy Place that I actually ended up finishing. So about Happy Place, I feel like in the middle there is a bit of really slow paced bit which I didn't really like, and I kind of paused and set it aside for a moment. But I think the last 100 pages was pretty emotional for me, and I ended up crying. But overall it was an interesting read, and I would recommend. But yeah, with fair warning, it gets a tad bit boring in the middle. So anyway, that was it. Those are all the 281 pages I read on Tuesday. So coming to Wednesday, that is today, I have the third trick that I want to try to cure my reading slump, and that is picking up a short story collection. I think the thing with most of us with reading slumps is that we all want to pick up a book, but then the whole pressure of finishing a book of actual novel seems like a lot. So I think that is where actually picking a short story collection helps, because it's like you have to read only one short story at one point. So it's like little bits of concentration only that you need to put in. So it's always helpful, I think. I mean, that's personally always worked for me before. So I want to see if I can use this trick again this time as well. And the book that I've picked up is Before Your Memory Fades by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. This is book 3 in the Before Your Coffee Gets Cold series. I have all the books here. The first book is Before the Coffee Gets Cold. Loved it. The second book is Before the Coffee Gets Cold, Tales from the Cafe, another book that I loved. And the third book is Before Your Memory Fades. The fourth book is also actually coming out, or has just come out, something like that. It's a pink cover, very beautiful. I think it's called Before We Say Goodbye, if I'm not wrong, but that's a very pretty one. So yeah, this is my third trick that I want to try, reading short story fiction, short story collections. Again, maybe you can switch up the genre that you like. I personally want to read something along the lines of slow living, just living in the moment, being mindful, enjoying the moment, all of that. So I think this whole series is one that will really give me that vibe. Otherwise, you can read a lot of different other kinds of short stories. There are a multitude of different genres. You'll have mystery, you'll have murder, you have women's fiction, then you have erotic nature stories such as Anais Nin's works. You've got maybe translated fiction that you can try out, folk tales translated to English or whatever language you want, Then there are different collections, like I have one collection right here, which is the American Short Stories collection. Then yeah, all of that. There's no dearth of short stories, so you can definitely try those out. And I am gonna read this. Very excited. This is actually also on my list of 23 books to read in 2023, so I'm excited for this one. And the bookmark that I'm going to use is this beautiful Leo inspired bookmark, and it was made by Dear Junior, I would say. She's my sister's friend, and I'm going to link her details down below so that you can order yours as well. She does all of these different zodiac signs bookmarks, which I think are really pretty. So anyway, I'll be using this book, and yeah, I think I really am getting back into the reading groove, and since it's only 3 days in, I am really happy about that as well. I am excited to, even though it's actually mid-afternoon at this moment right now that I'm filming, and I am excited to read this book, and at the same time I'm really looking forward to reading the graphic novel that I'm continuously reading on a sunbeam, that one as well at night before I go to sleep. So I feel like it's become a good tradition, and that I'm finally getting back into the groove, which is a great thing. So hopefully this continues even after this whole treatment plan, and even after this week. So yeah, I'll give you another update maybe tonight. Let's see. I'm really going with the flow with this, because if I really enjoy reading this book, I might just get stuck. I might just get stuck in, so I'll forget about the filming. But yeah, that's it for now. I'll give you another update soon. Bye. Hi guys, how's it going? So welcome back to day 4 of this whole reading slump treatment plan. So I am here to give you an update. Today is Thursday, and I am here to tell you that yesterday, that is on Wednesday, I ended up reading 76 pages. So basically what I did was, as we all know, yesterday I tried the third trick of dealing with the reading slump, that is picking up a short story collection, and I feel like it really worked. I was not really in very much of a reading mood yesterday, but I told myself this is just a short story, I'll finish it soon. And so I ended up reading one story, which is 76 pages in this collection. And of course, at the end of the day, I might have read more, but my friends ended up coming. So it was a great day overall. I don't grudge that they came. But yeah, so this is the book, 76 pages that I read. Today is Thursday, and I am going to share with you all another trick that I'm going to use for helping me deal with this reading slump. And for that, I am going to share
Before Your Memory Fades by Toshikazu Kawaguchi.
So this fourth trick is basically using an audiobook. Since I am already reading this book, I will be using the audiobook alongside it. I have read the first story already, so I'll skip that bit and I'll listen to the rest of the audiobook. I personally think I do better when I both listen and read at the same time, so I'll do both. I also have plans to go out today, so I will probably take the book with me and then also download the audiobook on my phone as well, on which I'm filming right now. So when I'm on the metro, I can listen to the book / read the book. So yeah, I hope this works. Overall, I have really loved audiobooks over time, so I hope to explore more of this, and this will definitely help me with my reading. So yeah, that's the plan. I'll listen to the audiobook, continue reading this book, and then maybe at night, as usual, I'll pick up the current graphic novel that I'm reading. So yeah, this is a really nice sort of, not really floppy, but a bit floppy paperback, which I'm really enjoying. It is quite heavy though. So yeah, that's it for today. I will give you an update maybe tonight, tomorrow. Let's see how it goes, but happy reading. If you are also doing kind of this challenge for yourself, I hope you know that on some days it gets difficult. Not just difficult, some days it's not just that you don't want to read, some days you just don't get the time, and that's perfectly fine. I am trying a lot to make time for reading because with work, with the gym, with cooking, household chores, everything, it does get a bit difficult at times managing, but that's how adult life works. So yeah, I want to let you know that you're not alone in the struggle, and just challenge yourself every day. If not today, tomorrow. 5 pages, 10 pages, 15 pages, and so on. because I do recognize that everybody's lives are different. When I was a student, I could read a lot more. I had a lot more time in my hands, but nowadays that's not the case, obviously. So yeah, that's a lot of rambling from me. I will give you an update tomorrow. Take care. Bye. How's it going? So it's almost midnight and I'll give you a tiny bit of an update of what I've been reading today before I finish today's records. So basically, like I said, on my way to the friend's party, I read chapter 2, that is the second story of this book, while listening to the audiobook. I downloaded the audiobook on my phone as well, so I was listening to that and I finished this, and this was 60 pages, yeah. And then just now I have been reading a bit of the graphic novel as well, and I ended up reading, what's the math, 169 pages. So now I've read from chapter 6 to chapter 13. As you can see, this is my progress, and I'll most probably continue this tomorrow. I am really enjoying this graphic novel series. This graphic novel. I don't think this is a series, and I am really excited to see how it goes. I almost feel like continuing a bit, but then I am feeling a bit sleepy. So it's been a wonderful time that I had outside. So yeah, that's the update for today. In all, I read, today is Thursday, right? Yeah, I read a total of 229 pages, of which the maximum was the graphic novel, because that made up like 169 pages itself. So yeah, that's that. I'll share the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the 5th trick with you tomorrow. That is on Friday, and I hope so far these tricks have been working for you. So yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys tomorrow with another trick and another daily record of my reading. So bye, good night. Hi guys, how's it going? So today is day 5 of the whole reading slump treatment plan, and today is Friday, the 8th of September. I'm dressed like a granny because that's how I've decided to spend my weekend. It's a G20 summit weekend in Delhi, so I'm not really going outside. I'm just gonna stay inside and read as much as I can. So for today, the trick that I'm going to use is picking up a guilty favorite. So a guilty favorite is a kind of book or a kind of genre that you go back to again and again, because it generally gives you fun. It's sort of mindless. It's sort of a palate cleanser, a type of book that you read in between, let's say, 2 heavy books. And for me, that is an adult romance book, novel or a novella, mostly a novella, because they are quick reads. They are generally heavy on the romance with more focus on the 2 characters rather than, let's say, on the plot. So that's my generally go-to palate cleanser guilty read, and that's what I'm gonna do. So the book that I am hoping to read is called it's a very funny name. It's called My Naughty Boss by Charlotte Grace. So basically, in this book we will follow 2 people. One is Lucas. He's an executive, he's a CEO of a big company, and he's just angry with how the media is so involved in his personal life, all the questions that they put forward to him and all of that, and so he needs help dealing with all that. And this is where the heroine comes in. Sophia is a PR executive who will help him shape his image in front of the media. So as far as I understand, this is going to be an office romance, and it's also probably going to be insta love, insta romance, all of that, because it's just 182 pages long. So I think it's going to be a very quick read as well. So this is what I'm going to read today on my on the Kindle app, and that's my plan. Also, I am going to continue reading this graphic novel, because I'm assuming, like I said, it's the weekend, I don't have any other plans. I'll just stay in and read, so I'll most probably be able to finish that romance read, and then I'll most probably have time as well, so I'll continue with this graphic novel. And that's the plan for today. I'll give you an update maybe tonight, because I'm confident that by tonight I will be able to finish both. Not sure about the graphic novel because I've got quite a bit left and it's quite thick, as you can see, but I'm sure I'll be able to finish the romance book very soon, because I want something light, something fun, so this will provide me that. And then I'll also have the graphic novel to contend with. So yeah, that's the plan. I'll see you all very soon. Bye. Hi guys, how's it going? So as I might have mentioned yesterday, this is the G20 weekend and it is Saturday morning today, and I'm here to give you an update of how my reading went from yesterday. So like I said, yesterday was Friday and my goal was to read A Guilty Read, and I ended up actually finishing it. So the update is that I picked up and also finished the adult romance novella that I was talking about, My Naughty Boss. I finished it and I rated it 3 stars. I'll share more about it in my wrap-up video, of course, but yeah, that was that. And then I also ended up finishing the graphic novel on a sunbeam, and I really enjoyed it. I flew through it really because it's so good, and I was actually eager to see how the story proceeded after I had read it the previous day and throughout this week. So overall I read 439 pages, but a majority of that is because of the graphic novel. So I read 257 pages of On a Sunbeam, that is a graphic novel, and 182 pages of the adult romance. In total it comes up to 439 pages. So that's my update for Friday. Now moving on to the trick that we are going to follow today, that is on Saturday, and it is simply to kind of set a reading challenge for yourself. Read as much as you can. Now, as I mentioned, this is a G20 weekend, so there's no work, nothing, we are all free, and that's why I am literally going to just eat, sleep, drink, enjoy by reading, and just lie in bed. So that's my whole plan for the weekend, and that's how it's been going. So I am just going to read as much as I can. I'm not gonna have any particular goal or read any particular type of book. I haven't decided yet. All I know is that I am going to continue reading as much as I can. But since I have finished the graphic novel and the romance novel that I was talking about, I am going to continue reading before your memory fades. I think I've just got 2 stories left in it, so I'll continue reading that book. And I'll obviously get the time, I might pick up another book, of which I'm not yet sure, but of course you'll get to know in the daily wrap-up. I might read, let's say, a non-fiction, because I'm kind of leaning towards The Lonely City by Olivia Lang, or I might also read another romance because I'm kind of liking the romance thing. So yeah, I haven't yet decided, but for now I'm just gonna continue reading before your memory fades, and then I'll see where my mood takes me. So that's the challenge for today, that's the trick for today, to just read as much as you can. Continue with books that you may have already picked up. For me, it's like I said, the short story collection, and that's what I'm gonna do. And yeah, this is how my spread is looking so far, and I think it's looking stunning. Ignore this bit, I just used whatever scraps I had from this week. Some tea I tried out, a little sticker, again some health supplements from Organic India. I finally wore something I bought at Zudio. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna continue reading and I'll give you an update tonight. I just had a bath and that's why my hair is all frizzy, but it's a nice weekend. It's also been raining, so it's cool. The weather is really cool and it's beautiful. I might actually end up reading on the balcony. Let's see. So yeah, I'll give you an update tonight. Bye bye. Hey guys, good morning. So today is Sunday and I've had a really nice chilled morning. I woke up a bit late, but then I just had my bath, and now I'm gonna do my skincare and also give you an update regarding how my reading went yesterday. Right, so I have all my notes here. So like I said yesterday, I wanted to read just as much as I could, and I did because I was at home the whole day anyway. So that's what I did. All right. So I said that I would finish reading Before Your Memory Fades, which is book 3 in the Before the Coffee Gets Cold series, and the last story was named The Young Man, and in that story we basically follow one of the characters who has been present in this whole book. Like, we have seen him from the beginning, it's just that now at the 4th story where we get to see his own personal story pan out. So that's, oh my god, did I just hit the mic? So that's what's been happening, and I finished reading that story yesterday. It was very nice and I really loved it. And this is how my spread is looking right now, and I read a total of 53 pages in Before Your Memory Fades. I have to say that this was a really nice book, and I have requested for book 4 of the series, so hopefully that'll come to me, and maybe I'll again share my thoughts about that with you as well. I think this weekend has been really fun, it's giving me a chance to get in touch with my inner self, because I've been doing so much of reading, and basically, not just reading, I've had some time to really rest and basically touch base so that I am ready for the week ahead. So in that sense, this week has been a real lifesaver, I would say. It's been really nice. And with this whole reading slump treatment plan, I do think that I am finally getting ready for the week ahead, and as not just the week ahead, but for my reading week ahead, and then in turn my whole reading month ahead. So those were the 53 pages I read, and then I, instead of that non-fiction book that I was telling you about, I decided to read a romance book once again. This one is part of a series, and it is called Broken Souls, a small town strangers to lovers slow burn romance, and it is book 3 in the Little Hope series. It's by Ariana Kane, and I really enjoyed it. So we have two people, Alicia and Mark, and what happens is that Alicia has just recently moved into this new place after something terrible that has happened to her. She's always been coddled by her family, so now she thinks that she finally needs to go out and learn to live life on her own terms. So she gets this place, and one of her neighbors, her neighbor, who is also the hero of our story, is this firefighter, and his name is Mark. And so from the beginning we see that Ariana falls in different scapes all the time, and Mark really comes to save her. And like I said, it's a romance, so they will fall in love, of course. And it's a really nice story. I really enjoyed it. We also get to see a lot of other elements as well, apart from PTSD. The way the people are trying to make friends, maintain boundaries with family members, especially when your family members are very overbearing, dealing with your own personal thoughts about your own sense of belonging, your sense of worth, and all of that. So it does deal with a lot of those series issues, and I think it's done really well. And again, like I said, it was a very nice story. I actually ended up crying, and that is also why my eyes might look a bit puffy today, because I finished it last night just before actually going to bed, and I did cry a bit. So I do feel like my eyes are a bit puffy because of that crying session. But yeah, really enjoyed it. It is 354 pages long, so in total I read 407 pages. So my camera cut off right at that moment, but yeah, I ended up reading 407 pages on Saturday, which I think was a great number. Moving on, for my trick for Sunday, it is simply to read a childhood favorite. So alternatively, it can also be a book that you just know is going to cure your soul. So for me, for the longest time, I've known that I really need to get back to my roots, especially when it comes to reading, and I always felt that if I just pick up those books that define my childhood, maybe this whole I can redo this whole reading groove of mine. So that's what I decided to do, and I I have the book here. For my childhood favorite, it's actually Enid Blyton's books, but specifically for this video, for this reading time, I really feel like I need to reread Famous Five series, because it forms such an integral part of my childhood that it's unavoidable, that I actually pick it up. And the interesting thing is that my first copies of the Famous Five were actually copies that belonged to my mum and her siblings when they were young, when they were in school. So my Famous Five set is actually very old and very tattered. It's got nice illustrations as well in the middle of the book. So that's that. But now I think it's time for a new copy, and this is the collection 1, which contains 3 books, books 1, 2 and 3 in the Famous Five series. It's a bit damaged here, but all in all, it's great. And it also has some nice illustrations in it, which is really good. So it has the first 3 books of this whole 21 book series, and that is 5 on a Treasure Island, 5 Go Adventuring Again, 5 Run Away Together. So it's got all those 3 books here. I actually also ended up buying another edition of this. This is just book 1, so it's quite small, as you can see. And this edition, I really like the art. It's quite different, as you can see. So yeah, these are the the book that I want to read, which is basically picking up a childhood favorite, and that's what I'm gonna do. Just for now. I am probably gonna pick up this version and then read book 1, which is, how many pages long is book 1? Let's see. Roughly 185 pages long, just that. So this much. I'll read a bit, and I'm not going to put any constraint on myself. I'm going to read as much as I can. I'm not going to pressure myself to read this many specific number of pages or anything like that. That said, I do have a free day today, so I might actually just end up reading it, because from tomorrow it's back to real life again, guys. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading this this book, and I'll give you an update very, very soon, maybe tonight. Yeah, bye. Hi guys, how's it going? So it's Sunday evening, and I've just finished book 1 of Famous Five, 5 on Treasure Island. So I thought I would give you an update and also end this whole kind of weekly vlog based on my reading slump treatment plan. So yeah, I just finished reading book 1, which was 5 on a Treasure Island. It was really nice going back down memory lane, realizing again why I loved this series when I was a kid. And it has a total of 183 pages, so that was a quick read and I really enjoyed it. I might start book 2 also, let's see. But yeah, that's the end of today's plan, and I just thought I would wrap it up. So throughout this week, I read a total of 7 books, and let me share my ratings with you all. Firstly, I continued reading Happy Place because I was midway through it, and I ended up rating it 4 stars. Then I also read The Testament of Mary, and I picked up and read it throughout this week, and I rated it 3 stars. Then I also started and ended a reading On a Sunbeam, which is a graphic novel, and I rated it 4 stars. This was a birthday gift from my friend. Moving on, I also read Before Your Memory Fades, which is book 3 in the whole Before the Coffee Gets Cold series, and I ended up rating it 4 stars as well. Then I read a couple of adult romances, My Naughty Boss, which I rated 3 stars, and then Broken Souls by Ariana Kane, which I rated 4 stars. And lastly, I just finished reading book 1 of the Famous Five series, 5 on a Treasure Island, and I rated this one 5 out of 5 stars. So those are all the 7 books I read during this week, and I do think that my reading slump is cured, because I definitely am looking forward to reading more again now. I think I might start maybe a fantasy, because I haven't read a fantasy in a really long time. I just didn't have the mental capacity for it, but now I think I can and I want to. So that's that. And yeah, I hope this video helps you as well in dealing with your own reading slump. Yeah, I have a Medium article as well linked to it, which has a couple of more details on it. So if you're interested, you can check that out as well. I've included the link in the description box. And yeah, so overall, if you want to talk statistics, I read 7 books over these 7 days, and I also read 1,719 pages, which I think was a pretty good deal, from Monday 4th of September till today, 10th September. So yeah, I'll see you guys again in another video. I definitely am in the mood to start or film another reading vlog, a weekly reading vlog, so I might do that as well. But I'll see you again. Take care. Bye.